Hey guys, it's TRIZE here, back with Automation, the car company Tycoon game, and what you're seeing right now is one of my latest builds called the Ibishu Pigeon. This vehicle, based on the Ibishu Pigeon from BeamNG, is a dangerous, high-speed vehicle with no aerodynamics, four-wheel drive, and an engine that barely fits. As you can see, the looks of this truck is fairly reminiscent to the Pigeon with the headlights, taillights, the logo, truck name, and chrome bars on the back, even though the name of the truck is swapped out with Speegeon instead of Pigeon for the sake of this build. Anyways, I'll explain how I made this truck throughout this portion of the video. The body that I've used to make this hellish K-truck on Nandroline is made by a modder named Filman86 in his BeamNG's Pigeon Body mod file. You can check it out in the Automation Steam Workshop or with the link in the description below. It has a lap time of 1 minute 23 seconds 56 milliseconds at the quote-unquote Top Gear test track and 2 minutes 22 seconds 58 milliseconds at the automation track. It has a top speed of 287 miles per hour and a 0 to 60 in 4.4 seconds flat. This vehicle is powered by my revised version of the most powerful inline-4 engine that produces 2,171.7 horsepower and 1,440.2 pounds-feet of torque. It has a fuel efficiency rating of 6 miles per gallon and weighs 3,265.9 pounds or 1,481.4 kilograms. And for the market, since this vehicle was originally ported from BeamNG.drive to Automation with a ridiculously powered engine, it doesn't compete with anyone in the market. In terms of how I made the Speegeon, the panel material we made out of regular steel with a light truck monocoque chassis made out of corrosion-resistant steel, with a front longitudinal engine placement, and both the front and rear suspension uses a double wishbone suspension setup. And you're probably thinking why I chose like all steel and everything instead of like fiberglass aluminum, is that I'm not trying to build the lightest K-truck with a powerful engine, is that I want to go pretty heavy because the amount of wheel spin this will produce, as we'll calculate in automation, and the results we might get in BeamNG.drive. So more weight equals slightly less wheel spin, which hopefully that will be the case in BeamNG.drive. For the engine, like I said earlier, this is the revised version of the most powerful inline-4 engine. I originally made this engine about 8 months ago on the old channel until I was beaten by Forgotten Mustard by around 10 to 15 horsepower. Now with this build, I got the same horsepower rating as his, but with 2 more pounds-feet of torque at 1,442 pounds-feet of torque, compared to his 1,438. I don't know if I should crown this engine as the most powerful inline-4 or what? Let me have your thoughts down below. So pretty much same specs as expected. Inline 4 magnesium block maxed out 120 millimeters with a bore and stroke to make it 5,429 cubic centimeters or just over 5.4 liters with a dual overhead cam 5 valve made out of aluminum silicone. For the crank cowl rods and pistons, same thing as the version 1 variant. Billet steel crankshaft, lightweight titanium cowl rods, and regular forged pistons, and everything at a plus 15, just quality spammed to get the most out of the engine. For the compression, it's now updated to a 9.0 to 1 ratio with the cam profile lowered down by 1 click to a 92. This was at a 93 and this was at a 9.6 with VVT at all cams, which is of course the same. The turbocharger and everything, same setup, same intercore with the compressor still at 101 millimeters, the turbine lowered down 2 millimeters to 83, same air ratio, same boost. For the fuel system and everything, still direct injection throttle per cylinder race tank running on ultimate fuel, but with the ignition timing jumped it up to 85 and it was originally a 68, with the RPM limit dropped down a tad to 8,600 RPM. And lastly, for the exhaust, single exhaust still maxed out at 203 millimeters, which equals to 8 inches. Still no cats, no buffers, and that quality is still up at this horsepower rating and this torque rating. Kind of like treating like this is one of my most powerful engine series videos, but anyways, give you here this engine right now. Just do this briefly. Beat that, Honda. For the drive type, like I've mentioned, it's a longitudinal 4x4 setup with advanced automatic 4-speed with the top speed set to 287.8 miles per hour. And the reason why I went for an advanced automatic than a regular manual, which I think you get a higher top speed, right? slightly to around 288. But with a manual, you're gonna have like a pause because you're gonna be upshifting, going brr, pause, shift, pause, shift, like that. And especially when you get to the high RPMs where you get all that wheel spin, it's just gonna make the car more out of control. So it'll be better off going for an automatic transmission, preferably advanced automatic, so I can shift whatever I want to in manual mode. For the tires, we're using some radial semi-slick tires with the front tire width set to 205 millimeters and the rear at 275 millimeters, running on some 10-inch steel rims. For the brakes and everything, it's pretty small, but it's a vented disc 3-piston for the front with its size set to 170 millimeters. The rear also a vented disc, but a 1-piston with its size set to 170 millimeters, with a full-blown race pad type at 100. So undertrain everything, as you can see here, no undertrain whatsoever, but claiming that we do, we got a fully quiet undertrain with max brake airflow, because the brakes like to cook, especially being this small. So interior and everything, as we can see here, there is no interior whatsoever due to the complications of the body of the vehicle. So imagine if we do got an interior, we got some basic 2x2 seats with a basic interior and no entertainment whatsoever. So safety and everything, no power steering, treating like it's NASCAR up in here with no traction aids because it's made in 1980 and no safety whatsoever. And last but not least, with the suspension and everything, so basic things, standard springs, gas model 2 dampers with a passive sway bars, running on a sport preset. Despite having a lot of problems in here, such as no power steering, wheel spin, more wheel spin, understeering issues, dampers being too hard, engine bay being full, clearance issues, engine RPM and torque stress issues, semi-slick tires, high camber, front tires being narrow, and brake fade, let's go to BeamNG.drive and test this hellish K-truck out. So here we are at the modded racetrack of Talladega Superspeedway, and taking a brief look at this vehicle. Well, as you can see, it's just like the Ibishu Pigeon, preferably the 4-wheel variant based on the Cool model. As I could mention, it's a ported body mod from BeamNG to automation made by a small YouTuber known as Filmin86, who's posted this body in the automation Steam workshop. And as I could bring the Cool variant of the Pigeon right here, let's put it side by side for comparison. So I got it right here, so hide the UI and everything. So with the Cool variant, well, it's got a two-tone body, like you got like more of a lighter blue here and a darker like greenish blue down here, but with the bumper and everything. You got your bumper lights with a rear license plate. The rear also has that too, but with a Japanese license plate. You got your turn signal, brake light, and reverse light. Same thing with this guy, but you got the brake light, longer brake light with a small reverse light right here. And you also got the same chrome bars here. Well, these are chrome, these are like probably black and steel or something. So the front of the vehicle, as you can see, mostly the reminiscence of the vehicle with the headlight and turn signal, except for the engine just cut out with this little radical looking hood scoop right here on the Speegeon compared to the Pigeon. So yeah, not too bad of a replica, but not only that, the Speegeon's got one mirror to pretty much play out like the original Pigeon that only had one mirror, while this guy, as you can see, has two for the Pigeon. So let's get rid of Pigeon and do our basic performance test when I do so. So here I am off the track here, and we're going to be doing our basic performance test with this vehicle. Our 3 tests we're going to be doing is we're going to do a 0 to 62 acceleration test, next would be a 62 to 0 brake test, and lastly, a top speed run, which I guarantee with this 1.5 ton vehicle being over 2100 horsepower, there's like a 70 to 80% chance it will probably make our top speed around 288 miles per hour. Even with these straightaways, it's almost like it's no problem, but we'll find it out later on in this video. So start things off with the 0 to 62 acceleration test starting now. Hit the acceleration, got that turbo lag, and god damn, 0 to 62 at 3.46 seconds of 147.29 feet. For the brake test, let's do the cruise control, and it's showing 61, so up a little bit, 63, go. Locking up the brakes, and god damn it, the brakes, the brake test failed because the car was going swoogity swoogity. Okay, 62 to 0, here we go, in 3.06 seconds of 132.88 feet. Time-wise, not so much thanks to it being a non-ABS vehicle. Well, distance-wise, seems okay. So for a top speed run already in effect, we're flying through these gears, getting all that wheel spin, turbocharger overheating. Oh boy, this is gonna be fun. So going around the bank corner of the first corner, we're going up on a retaining wall, going at the speed of 163 miles an hour. We're gonna reach 200 miles an hour according to airspeed. So airspeed 200 plus, mild drifting. Okay, for it, we're not stable. We're not stable. We're trying to, we're getting lag spikes. We're unstable up in here. A tire deflated, so Not gonna happen, folks. Up on the wall, front right tire broken, a rear right flat, so... I don't think this is possible how the car was just going left and right up in here, so I doubt top speed will be reached with this vehicle at this track. What if I do it again? Alright, now begin to fort, now forting it 200 miles an hour. See, we're auto steering to the left thanks to the lack of aerodynamics and stability of this vehicle, so top speed, true top speed, 259 miles an hour. 259 is the best we're gonna get. We're just hitting our ass in on the wall like 3 or 4 times. And now at that, we get a lot of lag thanks to me going at a high speed. And brake test, 210 to 0 in 8.31 seconds of 871.02 feet. That's great to know, but that, we don't care. So damage to the vehicle, rear end completely destroyed, rear right tire also destroyed up to the... No, on the rim! Holy crap! We got no such rubber, just all steel rim right here. And elsewhere about the vehicle, well, front end damage, engine's in good health, got some right camber issues, and everywhere else, well, a mixture between okay to not okay. Alright, so with this portion of the video, as you can see in the top of the screen, we got the hot lap feature half-ass broken up in here. So we're doing 6 laps of the Talladega Superspeedway with this here vehicle. So going around highway speeds, we're gonna get ready to go for a green flag to start our 6 laps of hell off with this vehicle. So at the end, the pit road here, so get ready to get off of cruise control and get ready. So right now, green flag is out, accelerate, and we're underway. So first lap is out. Ignore that where it says 2 laps. Get it under control, please. So technically, that 2 is our 1 lap because the hot lapping feature on my computer, on my system, is like broken for some odd reason. Hopefully, this turbocharger, which I doubt it'll stay together, would survive this here race. I think this turbocharger will probably die out this lap or next lap. So brake here, 230 miles an hour. Beat that NASCAR. Now you got restrictor plates and everything, which I think they got rid of restrictor plates for like more restrictive aerodynamics, I think. I think they got rid of the restrictor plates back in like 2017 or 18 for NASCAR because, well, mild drift. Wow, we did that drift. So 50-second first lap time, not too bad. So like I was saying, the restrictor plates, they got rid of that. And that was implemented back in the 80s, I believe, where a NASCAR driver flipped over thanks to him blowing out a tire and about hit the freaking retaining wall at the side right here, this fence. See, that was back then when they implemented the restrictor plates to restrict airflow and lower horsepower on Daytona and Talladega Superspeedway to reduce top speed and to pretty much make things safer, according to their terms. So even at, oh boy, damn into the wall hard as we can. So trying to say we're getting all that wheel spin and understeer at a freaking straightaway, not like a straightaway, but that turn 3 and 4. Our second lap is a 47-second, 736 milliseconds. And the turbocharger is surprisingly still intact, 32.6 psi and more lag. This is why I'm building my own system later in the future. As you may have seen my blog post, if you're those in my Discord, is that on my blog post on my TRIZE Media WordPress website, is that I already bought the case, CPU cooler, and motherboard, which you can see in detail of what I'm building and all the specs of my future build. So in detail, it's going to be an AMD Ryzen 5800X CPU, still using this 1070 GTX 1070 graphics card by Nvidia, because I want to save some money by damn it the wall by not buying a 20 to 2000 series or a 3000 series at the most. They cost like $300 or something. So for the budget that build, it's going to be under $1,200. So what it looks like, we are out of fuel. Are you kidding me? We are out of fuel. I just noticed that. So time trial is, unfortunately, it's going to come to a close. Wow, I did not put this in mind. So as we come to a rest by smacking this here concrete wall, we have ran out of gas. So our best lap time out of all this was our quote-unquote third lap of a 47-second, 175 milliseconds. That's unfortunate. We only did half of the race here thanks to us running out of fuel. As we can see here, hit the accelerator button. Well, we just nudge and that's it. I'm thinking MPG rate, this is probably like 2 or 3 miles per gallon, but that sucks. So for the last part of the video, let's be a wannabe version of Neological by jumping our car off a car jump arena and see if this version will beat Philman's version of the Pigeon. So take it to the start of the map right now. So here we are at the top of Car Jump Arena, and currently we got a 4 light to a 5 light, so get ready to go green when it goes green. So green right now, so accelerate the Speegeon, the wannabe Ibishu Pigeon, and off the ramp with some mild wheel spin, thanks to turbo lag, so accelerate as we go. So turbocharger overheating, a top speed we're going to reach is a speed of 244 miles an hour? Why did we pop our tires in mid-flight? So slow this down to, are we going to land our 4 wheels? Slow down, go to 100 times, hide the UI, camera as is. You know, get a Gregor camera angle going. So camera angle, unfreeze physics, go. 100 times slow-mo, goes to the left side of the... Oh boy, we flattened the son of a bitch pretty good. Wow. So go to 60 times slow-mo. Let's track the vehicle a little bit. It's, let's screw it, regular camera. We go. 6 times slow-mo. We got a big gap right here as the... Oh, did the windows come out or something? So full time. Okay, then. And it's kind of awkward how we can see through the vehicle like the window... Wait, is there a transparency issue or am I tripping? So underneath the vehicle... I think it's how it is. I don't know. So right off the bat, as we know, the engine is fully disabled. Well, engine off. There is no way. We got a huge, big-time slant forward against the frickin' 1960s or 70s of automotive manufactured United States. Instead of a slant 6, we got a slant 4 that still, kind of works. We get a turbocharger, just... doing that. So obviously, we cannot drive this vehicle whatsoever as this is completely mangled and shredded up big time. So, yep, engine still works, which that's weird. The radiator is busted as we see here with the smoke going on. So, that is with this vehicle, I guess. So for the last part of the video, as I accelerate, we're going to crash ourselves at the last bridge pillar to get a high-speed crash test going at a very high speed. Kind of like what I do with Brutal Slope, crashing at the little wedge block to wedge our car, crashing at high speed to wedge ourselves. Somewhat in a similar anatomy like this. So slow it down to 16. Gonna go to free cab and get ourselves right around here. Reset the FPV a little bit, hide the UI, and go to a 60 times slow-mo, unfreeze physics, and 100 times slow-mo we go. Adjust the camera, and... boom, there goes the front, and really goes the front, and almost flattened the truck out, and we got the hood scoop in place, flying free. Hashtag fly away stand would be free from cars, and that is the wreckage of the vehicle. We got the tire being loose, looks like the mirror, everything else in general, full time. And the vehicle is at a rest. We have flattened the front out of this big thing, this front out big time. What am I saying? So the front of the vehicle, flattened out big time. There, now I can say things now. And tires rolling. So, tire, what you gonna do? We gotta roll. And roll. So it's probably gonna hit the curb. Did you just do a tire screech? I seriously heard a tire screech. I swear, man. So damage to the vehicle. As we can see here, the engine is fully disabled because we pushed the engine back and destroyed the drivetrain of this vehicle. So damage-wise, like I said for the third or fourth time, front end smashed out pretty good, flattened up, beat it up with the back portion of the vehicle, the back of the wheels, and the back of the truck bed. And hazards going off because impact detected stopping car for a 1980 vehicle, which that is weird. I just don't get why 1980s vehicles, when you make them an automation and export in a BeamNG.drive for like this here vehicle, it's a 1980 vehicle with no safety features, and you got this type of safety feature where the hazards go off. Like, that is non-existent for a 1980s vehicle. It is just downright weird for me. So yeah, the results of this vehicle, completely mangled, and that is it with this vehicle. Just mangled, undrivable, and unrecognizable. So that'll do it with automation and BeamNG.drive with the Ibishu Pigeon. Well, this wannabe pigeon, or the pimped out performance model of the pigeon, well, this pretty much is like a wannabe version of like some people where they do like stuff on BeamNG where they mod vehicles, make them even more powerful than what they are in BeamNG.drive compared to the vanilla version. This version pretty much acts like those types of mods. You got a stupidly powerful engine that is just useless, fast, unreliable, and it'll kill you every time you turn the wheel, hit the gas pedal, or do whatever to pretty much accelerate the vehicle and make it go fast, and end up emptying the gas tank in like 10 minutes or something. And for those who are interested in this type of content, please be sure to like and subscribe so you won't miss out on any videos like this in the future, and also check out my social media down in the description below. So this is TRIZE rising up, and signing out.